Attack on Titan Volumes 33 and 34. Finale, written and illustrated by Hajime Isayama. The earth trembled beneath the weight of colossal titans, the air thick with the stench of death and destruction. In the heart of Shiganshina, amidst the ruins of a city reclaimed and lost again, the Survey Corps had achieved a Pyrrhic victory. The Colossal Titan, a symbol of terror for generations, finally lay defeated, its steaming carcass a testament to the courage and sacrifice of countless soldiers. But the cost of this triumph was staggering. The battlefield was a gruesome tapestry of fallen comrades, their broken bodies a haunting reminder of the brutal price of freedom. Among them lay Commander Erwin, a leader whose strategic brilliance and unwavering resolve had inspired hope in the face of overwhelming odds. Now his lifeless eyes stared up at the indifferent sky, his dream of uncovering the truth about the world beyond the walls forever unrealized. Levi Ackerman, burdened by the weight of command and the agonizing decisions he had been forced to make, found himself facing an impossible choice. With only one dose of Titan serum remaining, he had to choose between saving Erwin, the seasoned commander who had guided them through countless battles, or Armin, the young strategist whose sharp mind and unwavering optimism held the promise of a brighter future. His hand trembling, Levi injected the serum into Armin's dying body, a decision that would forever haunt him, a constant reminder of the sacrifices made and the paths not taken. The surviving recruits, battered but unbroken, finally reached the ocean, a shimmering expanse that had once existed only in their dreams. This vast body of water, stretching beyond the horizon, represented a world beyond the confines of the walls, a world they had yearned to explore. But for Aaron Yeager, the reality of the ocean proved to be a stark contrast to the boundless freedom he had envisioned. Instead of awe and wonder, he felt a profound sense of emptiness, a chilling realization of his own insignificance in the face of such immensity. It was Armin, ever the optimist, who rekindled the flame of hope within Aaron, reminding him that the ocean was not an ending, but a beginning, a gateway to a world of possibilities, a world where they could finally forge their own destiny. This fragile hope was cruelly shattered upon their return to Paradise Island. The joyous celebrations, the relief of finally reaching the ocean, were abruptly silenced by a chilling revelation. Zeke Yeager, Aaron's half-brother, had orchestrated a sinister plot. The celebratory wine, shared amongst comrades, had been laced with Zeke's spinal fluid, transforming anyone who consumed it into a potential Titan under his control. His true objective, however, was even more horrifying: to use Aaron's founding Titan power to sterilize all Eldians, a twisted act of mercy he called euthanasia, a final solution to the cycle of hatred and suffering they had endured for centuries. This revelation sent shockwaves through Paradise Island, dividing the people and sowing seeds of mistrust. The recruits, once united by their shared experiences and their unwavering commitment to humanity's survival, found themselves fractured by this internal conflict. Some, consumed by their resentment toward Marley and driven by the fear of annihilation, reluctantly accepted Zeke's plan as a necessary evil, the only way to guarantee Paradise Island's safety. Others, like Mikasa and Armin, were horrified by the prospect, desperately clinging to the belief that there had to be an alternative, a way to protect their people without resorting to such extreme measures. Amidst this growing tension, Aaron's behavior became increasingly erratic and unpredictable. He isolated himself from his closest friends, his once warm and expressive eyes now cold and distant. This culminated in a devastating confrontation where he accused Mikasa of being a slave to her Ackerman bloodline, her unwavering devotion a mere product of instinct, not genuine affection or free will. These words, spoken with such chilling indifference, cut Mikasa to the core, creating a chasm between them that seemed impossible to bridge. The Yeagerists, a faction fanatically devoted to Aaron and Zeke's radical ideology, seized control of Paradise Island, their primary objective to unite the two brothers and unlock the full devastating potential of the founding Titan. The remaining members of the Survey Corps, now branded as traitors, found themselves outnumbered, outmaneuvered, and forced to comply with the Yeagerists' demands. They were taken to Shiganshina, the site of Zeke's confinement, the stage set for a final apocalyptic confrontation. The tension reached a fever pitch as Zeke, atop the cart titan, was paraded through the streets of Shiganshina. In a stunning act of betrayal that shocked both sides of the conflict, Eren transformed into the attack titan and launched a savage assault on his brother. The battle for Shiganshina erupted, a chaotic maelstrom of titans, soldiers, and crumbling buildings. Levi, his heart filled with a cold fury and a burning desire to avenge his fallen comrades, engaged Zeke in a brutal aerial duel, their blades a blur of motion amidst a shower of thunder spears. Meanwhile, Gabi Braun, blinded by hatred and fueled by a desire for revenge for Sasha's death, fired her rifle, the bullet finding its mark not in Eren, but in Lobov, a young Paradise Island recruit who had thrown himself in front of Falco to protect him. Witnessing the horrific consequences of her actions, Gabi was forced to confront the dehumanizing nature of her indoctrination, the realization that her enemies were not devils, but people, just like her. In the midst of this carnage, Eren and Zeke's hands finally made contact, triggering a blinding flash of light and transporting them to the ethereal realm of the Paths, a dimension intimately connected to the founding Titan. Here, they encountered the ghost of their father, Grisha Jaeger, and began a surreal journey through time, reliving the pivotal moments that shaped their lives and the intertwined history of the Eldian people. Deep within the Paths, Eren encountered Ymir Fritz, the original founding Titan, a young girl whose story was one of unimaginable suffering and exploitation. Seeing her pain, her unspoken yearning for freedom, Eren offered her a choice she had been denied for 2,000 years. And Ymir, in a moment that would irrevocably alter the course of history, chose Eren. Back in the ravaged streets of Shiganshina, Levi, with his signature blend of speed and lethal precision, finally struck Zeke down, seemingly ending the threat of the Beast Titan. But as Zeke's consciousness faded, he was drawn into the Paths, where Eren revealed his true, horrifying intentions. He had been manipulating Zeke all along, feigning agreement with his euthanasia plan while secretly plotting his own apocalyptic vision. He would unleash the rumbling, not to sterilize the Eldian people, but to flatten the world beyond Paradise Island, a terrifying act of self-preservation, a desperate gamble to protect his people by eradicating any potential threat. With the full power of the founding Titan now under his command, Eren initiated the rumbling. The walls of Paradise Island crumbled, releasing countless colossal titans from their ancient slumber. These monstrous giants, their bodies steaming, began their devastating march across the world, reducing everything in their path to rubble. Paradise Island, once a sanctuary, became the epicenter of a global catastrophe. The remaining Survey Corps members, along with Hange and Levi, watched in horror as Eren, their friend, their comrade, became the harbinger of the apocalypse. They knew they had to stop him, even if it meant killing the person they once cared for so deeply. Their first priority was escape and the formation of an unlikely alliance. Kiyomi Azumabito, an ambassador from Hizuru, arrived bearing grim news. The world had united against Paradise Island following the attack on Liberio. Azumabito, whose nation shared ancestral ties with the Eldians, offered a desperate gamble, a plan to utilize Paradise Island's unique resource, Iceburst Stone, to develop advanced weapons and technology, potentially buying them time to negotiate and defend themselves against the inevitable global assault. The mission to secure the Iceburst Stone mine was immediately beset by dangers. The Jaegerists, fiercely loyal to Eren and his plan, launched relentless attacks, determined to prevent any interference with the rumbling. During a fierce firefight, Armin was gravely wounded, a bullet tearing through his mouth, leaving his survival uncertain. Daz, another recruit, wasn't so lucky, falling victim to the Jaegerists' fervent devotion to Eren's cause. As the surviving recruits boarded the flying boat, the full, terrifying scale of the rumbling unfolded before their eyes. Colossal titans, their steaming bodies a horrifying spectacle against the setting sun, marched relentlessly across the landscape, reducing everything in their path to dust. They were leaving behind a homeland on the brink of destruction, a world teetering on the edge of oblivion. Their destination, Marley, a nation they had once considered their enemy, now their only hope for stopping Eren and saving what remained of humanity. Landing in a desolate Marley, the recruits were met with the devastating reality of Eren's actions. Cities lay in ruins, the air thick with the stench of death and decay. They encountered refugees, the scattered remnants of a shattered civilization, among them Annie Leonhardt's father. His desperate pleas for them to stop the rumbling, his grief for his lost world, mirrored the suffering of millions across the globe, a stark reminder of the catastrophic consequences of Eren's choice. Meanwhile, within the otherworldly realm of the paths, Eren revealed to Armin the chilling depth of his manipulations. He confessed to orchestrating events throughout their lives, subtly influencing their choices, their victories, and their defeats, all in a desperate gamble to engineer a future where his friends could live long, peaceful lives, even at the cost of global annihilation. Armin, horrified by the scale of Eren's plan and the twisted logic that fueled it, was left to grapple with the devastating truth. His childhood friend, the boy who had once dreamed of exploring the world beyond the walls, had become the architect of its destruction. He argued with Eren, trying to appeal to his humanity, reminding him of their shared dreams, but Eren remained steadfast, convinced that his actions, however horrific, were the only way to protect the people he cared about. The surviving Survey Corps members, now allied with former enemies, Reiner, Annie, Peak, and others, prepared for a final, desperate confrontation. They were a motley crew, united by a common purpose: to stop Eren and end the rumbling, no matter the cost. They knew that confronting Eren might mean killing him, a heart-wrenching prospect, but they were resolute in their commitment to saving what remained of the world. The final battle was a brutal, emotionally charged struggle, a clash of titans amidst a ravaged world. Mikasa, her heart heavy with grief and love, infiltrated Eren's founding Titan form, confronting him one last time within the memoryscape of the paths. In a gut-wrenching act of love and sacrifice, she decapitated Eren, ending the rumbling and severing the connection that fueled the Titan's power. Ymir's curse was finally broken, the power of the Titans erased from the world. But the victory came at a devastating price. Eren Yeager, the boy who had once dreamed of freedom, was dead, his twisted vision realized at the cost of billions of lives. The world was forever scarred, the memory of the rumbling, a chilling testament to humanity's capacity for both profound love and unspeakable destruction. The landscape was transformed, cities reduced to dust, entire populations eradicated. The survivors, burdened by the weight of their choices and the memories of those they had lost, were left to pick up the pieces and rebuild in a world irrevocably changed. 3 years later, Armin, Mikasa, Jean, Connie, and Levi returned to Paradise Island. The island, once isolated and threatened, was now a bustling center of trade and diplomacy, struggling to rebuild and forge new relationships in a world forever altered by the rumbling. The scars of the past remained, etched into the landscape and the hearts of the survivors. But there was also a sense of hope, a fragile belief that a better future was possible. As they stood on the docks, a single white bird, a symbol of peace and remembrance, landed on Mikasa's shoulder, a poignant reminder of Eren's enduring spirit, his twisted dream of freedom, and the devastating cost of its realization. The future remained uncertain, fraught with challenges and the daunting task of rebuilding a shattered world. But for the survivors, the long and brutal fight was finally over. The age of the Titans was gone, replaced by a new era, one defined by the enduring legacy of those who sacrificed everything and the fragile hope for a lasting peace. If you enjoyed this book breakdown, please consider liking this video and subscribing to get notified when we post our next breakdown.